Okay, we're back. You know, reporting everything, and they had audio of these poor little innocent seniors that were, you know, taken advantage of by this little 120-pound teacher. You know, of course she's hot. I mean, I'm sorry, but you're a 17-year-old guy. You got a hot teacher. I think it's just about every high school senior's, you know, fantasy to have sex with, to have a crush on their hot teacher. So it's not like you can really force a guy to have sex, you know. I mean, but it's been rather, you know, kind of amusing. They found her guilty. She was charged with 18 counts total. I think it was 16 counts of felony sexual battery and 2 counts of serving alcohol. And she actually, the trial only took like 5 days. She did a trial in front of the judge rather than a jury trial. And he found her guilty of all counts and gave her a total of 4 years in prison, but she's eligible for parole in 90 days, which she'll probably get, although it's up to the judge. The real kicker for her, though, is that she was labeled in Ohio a Tier 3 sex offender, which is the highest level, and that means she has to register her address every 90 days for the rest of her life. And to me, that's a bit ridiculous and a bit extreme. In some ways, I think the label of sexual predator is probably worse for her than the jail sentence. But, you know, I mean, it was her choice. She did what, you know, she did what she did. Supposedly, she's diagnosed as bipolar, and she started taking Zoloft, and she doesn't remember anything about what happened, and tried to say, she pleaded in temporary insanity. And the judge didn't buy it. So, you know. But it was funny, you know, after the trial, she was found guilty, and then before the sentencing, you know, the judge asked if anybody wanted to say anything, and the mother of one of these guys gets up there, and it was absolutely ridiculous. She's up there practically sobbing, you know, oh, my poor little son, oh, his life is ruined, he doesn't believe in authority anymore, and oh, he sees the world as evil now, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, really? It's like she wasn't even in the courtroom listening to him talk about how he banged this hot teacher this way and upside down and backwards and forwards. And oh yeah, he's the one that brought the pot to the party, you know? It was just ridiculous. And then the father of one of the other boys got up, and he did the same kind of thing. Everybody thinks they're probably going to plan on trying to sue the school district and use that as their, you know, way into the lawsuit. But if you'd listened to the excerpts of some of the stuff these guys were saying, it was pretty obvious that they were not exactly innocent. But so yeah, that's been going on. On a serious note, we had a guy, something Israel, I think his last name is Israel, I can't remember his first name, got into a high-speed chase up in Warren County, and the chase lasted 10 or 15 minutes. I don't remember what he originally ran, what the reason was, but he chose to run, and at some point, Warren County deputy put some stop sticks out to try to stop the guy, and I guess the guy swerved to miss the stop sticks and hit the deputy at about 110 miles an hour and killed the deputy instantly. They went through the details of, pretty much every bone in his body was broken. And anyway, that went to trial. They charged him with murder too, I believe. That trial just finished actually a few days before the Stacy Schuler thing did, and he was found guilty and sentenced to 25 to life with no possibility of parole for 25 years. So the jury came back guilty in like 4 hours. So it must have been pretty obvious that this guy, intentionally tried to hit the officer. And the prosecutor's point was that this guy had 15 or 20 minutes during the high-speed chase, any time at which he could have decided to stop, and he didn't. So, but the officer is the first Warren County deputy ever killed in the line of duty, and he's got a wife and I think 3 or 4 kids. So, sorry guys, I don't mean to be depressing, going from something funny to something not, but just sort of passing on the news that's going on in the area. What else is going on? I got my Chinese dual sport back legal and running on the highway. It's been sitting in the garage for over a year, and I've been riding around on my bigger 500cc Honda. And a friend of mine is a couple garages up from us. He's really into bikes too, and he's got a Miata, or he's had Miatas in the past, and he sort of likes some of the same things. And back in the back of his garage, he had an old dual sport, and I was like, man, that's pretty cool. He's like, well, he's going to sell it, or he's thinking about selling it. And I was like, well, I might be interested in buying it, because it's a two-stroke. And pulled it out and looked at it. It's a 1977 Yamaha DT, D as in dog, T as in Tracy, 175 two-stroke. And it has 650 miles on it. Still running with the original tires. It's pretty funny. I've got a video on YouTube showing it if you want to look at my page. It's funny, you look at the tires and it says, the Yokohama Rubber Company Limited. I'm thinking, wow. Kind of old school Japanese, The logo is a little different than the one they use today. And so he said, hey, take it, put it in your garage and ride it around the neighborhood, see if you like it. So I've been doing that, and we're trying to work out some kind of a deal with it. And he likes the bike. It's been used basically as a trail bike. Hasn't been titled since 1983. And he just used it for back in the woods. And it's a fun little thing, man. It's pretty zippy. Even with my fat ass on it, you hit the throttle just right. And I don't mean dump the clutch. I mean just rolling along and hit the throttle. It'll almost pull the front wheel off the ground. And even in second gear, first gear, I can hop it. I don't really do that stuff intentionally because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing as far as the wheelie goes, but it will pull the wheel off the ground a little bit. First gear and second gear, you can feel it, the weight come off the front end. So I'm thinking what I'm going to, after riding that dirt bike around, the dual sport, it is a dual sport. I thought, I really like this. It's small, it's light, nimble. And I started thinking, why the hell do I want to ride around on a big heavy 500cc? and I had been considering selling it anyway for that very reason, that it doesn't fit me very well, and I wanted something lighter. And after riding his dual sport around, I'm like, well, you know what? I have something that I own already that's a little bit lighter. So I got the title and inspection done on it, and got my dual sport on the road, and doesn't make as much power, and it's heavier. But I think what I want to do is sell my big bike, and I'll have 2 dual sports. I've never owned a 2-stroke before, and it's pretty cool. Something I've always wanted to have, and I've never owned one. So I'm hoping I end up with two dual sports. So we'll see if we can come to some kind of agreement. I asked some local motorcycle guys what they thought it was worth, because he had no idea, and I had no idea. You know, it's old, but it's got no miles on it. So, you know, what is it worth? And most of the people on the local motorcycle forums said, well, in absolute showroom condition, it might be worth $1,200. But it's not. I mean, it is in good shape, but it's covered with mud, and it's not perfect. So they suggested I offer $700 to $1,000, which seemed a little low to me, but if they're correct, and a showroom condition is only going for $1,200, then that's probably about right. And then the question will be, you know, $700 to $1,000 may not be worth it for my friend to sell it, because it has some value to him just to have it in the garage to use it, you know, when he wants to. So may not be able to come upon a agreement, and that's okay. We're friends, no big deal. It's not like I don't have a motorcycle to ride. But it'd be cool. So check my YouTube page. It's on there. I've got a couple of videos showing it. It was pretty impressive, though. It was in his garage. It had been stored for 8 months in his garage. Took it out, turned the key, kickstart only, no battery, and the damn thing fired on the first freaking kick after sitting for 8 months. That's pretty cool. Now, when I tried to start it later in the week, cold start, it took me several kicks, and it took me a little while to figure out that I needed to have the throttle open just the right way. And now for me it's like first or second kick every time too, but there was a trick to it, and I sat there for like 5-10 minutes kicking and kicking, trying to figure out what the hell am I doing wrong. And at some point I described a handful of throttle, and the thing came right to life, and it was rather hilarious actually, because I was expecting, you know, I made the video with the expectation of, hey guys, watch this, it's going to start on the first kick, and then here I am, you know, kicking away. But it runs real well, so I hope I can work out some kind of a deal. Drum brake on the front, of course, but it works pretty well. And obviously those tires need to be replaced. I mean, I would certainly be okay riding around in the neighborhood and maybe at slow speeds, but if I wanted to take it up near 50 or 60 miles an hour, yeah, there's no way in hell I'm trusting my life to 34-year-old nylon tires. They look okay. I mean, there's just a tiny little bit of cracking around near the edge of the rim. The rest of the rubber looks perfectly okay, but you know, no way in hell you trust your life to a tire that old. So I don't know what else is going on besides this guy going really slow, and I'm not paying attention because I'm talking to you all. I'm going to let this video go here, and I'm going to stop at the weigh stations coming up here in a little bit. And probably not the most smart thing to do would be to go through the weigh station with a camera mounted on my head, although probably they wouldn't see it, but still. I don't know what the hell this guy's doing. He's going like 60 freaking miles an hour. I got a late start this morning. I didn't finish till 11:30 last night, and then this morning I just killed a butterfly. Dead. This morning I just couldn't get out of bed, and it didn't really matter, so slept in. And then my boss called me, and he's like, "Well, you left the house yet?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Good." I'm like, "Okay." I was expecting to get yelled at. And he's like, "The transpo you sent last night, the cover page didn't go through." And I was like, "Okay." He's like, "I got the second page, but not the cover page." And I'm sitting there thinking, well, how the hell did you get the second page? Because the cover page is the one that's got the barcode on it to tell it where to go. So it's pretty odd. I don't know what maybe he accidentally deleted it and didn't want to admit it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So I had to drive down to the truck stop and resend that. And so anyway, here comes the weigh station, guys. I got to go, and I'm almost on 15 minutes. So I'll see you guys in a minute after the weigh station. Bye.